Hello! We are back in the Green Hare Mud video studio. My name is Jeannie. I'm the creative director of Green Hare Mud. We are going to try to answer one of the most frequently asked questions, which is, my hairdresser won't do this for me, so how do I do it best myself? So this is how we would do it. First, once again, must clarify the hair. That means shampooing with a astringent or a shampoo that will remove scalp oils. We don't want anything moisturizing or thick, no conditioning. So we want a clean canvas. The hair is going to be a clean, fresh canvas. Yes, it makes it a little tougher to detangle and pick through, but trust me, it's well worth the effort not to expose your body to known toxins, carcinogens, and chemicals. So using a nice, freshly shampooed head of hair, I will get back here so we can do it like this is my head. Okay, so the best way to do it after we have mixed our mud, we do have a first video on the mixing of Green Hare Mud to a pancake batter-like consistency. So we have that done, prepared already with the hot water. Please watch the video or read the direction sheet on that. So here is the quick version of do it yourself. So after you have completely cleansed the hair, we've just taken it out of the towel, we're going to gather it back as if you're going to gather it into a high ponytail, okay? Make sure and wear your gloves because Green Hare Mud is a pure plant stain, so it will stain your fingernails just like it stains the cuticle of the hair, creating that beautiful glossy color. All right, so we're going to gather all the hair back, and then I will put this in front of her. So here we go. So I've gathered my hair into a ponytail. I'm going to take the brush with the mud and I'm going to paint up from the hairline. Okay? This way, especially if you have longer hair like mine, this is how I have to do mine as well. Because working against the weight of the hair as we section off from the top, which is a traditional color application, is difficult. So we're going to paint up from the bottom hairline. We're going to take the tail of the comb, the brush, we're going to part through, drop a section, okay, so we've got this part that has color on it, all right, at the roots, and then we've still got the ends free. We're going to dip our brush again. We're going to paint up at the part line and down. Now this would be for a root touch-up. If we're going to do an original color, a virgin color, or refresh the ends, we'll pull through after we get all of the root color touch-up. So you want to color anything that is gray or grown out, any of the new growth with this application. So then, once again, parting out, we're going to paint up and paint down. So we will continue to work our way up the back of the head, past the occipital now, making sure to coat it all the way through. Okay, so for the sake of time and not making you bored, so we have gone through the entire head. We're now at the front. We want to come up the sides. We want to make sure and paint this little area over the ear. Make sure and pull the hair up, paint around the edge of the hairline. Continue to paint around the hairline and then parting back. So this would be parting back this direction. Come this way. Drop your section. And once again, painting down, painting up, coating that root area where the new growth is, and continuing all the way up both sides, dropping section at a time, not too big of sections. You want to make sure that if you have too big of sections, you can part through them and see, might not get enough coverage. So go back in, make sure that you get excellent coverage through the entire head. Once you get to the top, you'll do the other side. Okay, so at this point we've got the back from the nape all the way up to the top of the head. We've come over the ear, the temple area, up to the top, temple area up to the top. Then we're going to make sure we keep everything warm and wet to process. So think of it like Easter egg dyeing. The longer it stays in the liquid, the deeper and more intense the color becomes. And if you take it out of the liquid, it stops working. So very similar process, except of course we're using pure plant materials to stain the cuticle and create a beautiful, healthy, non-damaging color stain that will have durability. It's a permanent light color. So here we have wrapped the cotton coil around. It comes in the supply bag as well. So these extra little tails, I like to tuck them right behind the ears because there's these little channels right behind the ear where it tends to like to drip. So there we have it. We are going to go back, put a little extra dose right around the hairline. Make sure that that's where you tend to see the little gray ones shining, or the dullness of the roots if you're just doing a different color, not necessarily to cover gray. So then we are going to use our water bottle. We're going to wet the cotton coil. This is so that nothing dries out while it's processing. So very important that we make sure that the hairline stays nice and wet so that it doesn't dry out. If it turns back to powder, then it stops working. And then we are going to wrap the entire thing with our processing cap, making sure to tuck in the little edges, just like that, okay? And, all right, so best to process with heat, but you can process without heat by doubling, sometimes even tripling the processing time, but you'll check it periodically to make sure how it's developing so that it doesn't go too long or not long enough, and then you've washed your product out. So what we use, let me get my gloves off here. What we use for the do-it-yourself is something like this. It's very easily obtainable. We call it like a Barbie dryer. It's got the little poof cap that you can put on, and so it'll heat the hair nicely. There's also electric heat caps for processing conditioners or colors, or they have the little half-shell tabletop version. Those are all very handy. You can also just alternately put hot towels wrung out over the top of the plastic bag. But whatever you do, remember to keep it covered, keep it moist, and your color will develop beautifully. So that is it for the do-it-yourself version of Green Hare Mud. I'm Jeannie, the creative director of Green Hare Mud. I hope you like the videos, and please let us know. Thanks so much.